What this is a Ron Polk style workbench. You can get plans for this from him on his site. For me, it works out great. I really like the design. I did make a few changes, but I'll go over that in a subsequent video. Right now, what I want to talk about is this vise that I found on John Weiss's I Build It site on YouTube. This is outstanding. The nice thing about this vise is it's fully scalable, and I can go ahead and use a quick release mechanism to rapidly open and close it depending on the size of the piece that I have. It works very simple. I just reach in, open the quick release, close the vise on my work, reach in, close the quick release, and then tighten the vise up. Okay? Now I have my piece secure. I can go ahead and do whatever I need to do with it. And then when I want to take it out, I loosen it up, and I'm good to go. One other thing I did that I don't think John did on his was I have in this Ron Polk style workbench a series of bench dog holes in 4 rows. What I did was I lined up 3 of the rows with my vise, and then I went ahead and I put bench dog holes. So that all I have to do if I have a large piece is put a bench dog in the outer vise, open my quick release, close it, close my quick release, and I can tighten that up, and now I can work with this piece, or I can do large pieces. I have a great capacity now to be able to clamp just about anything on my workbench that I need. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to pull out the front jaw, and I'm going to show you one other change that I made. Okay, when John Weiss built this mechanism, what he did was he took a metal plate and he put a hole in the metal plate, 1 inch for the screw, and then he attached the screw to that metal plate with a bolt on the back and a cotter pin through it. So that meant he had a large hole in the back, and this was supported only with that metal plate, which meant that it was fairly loose. What I did instead was I drilled a 1 inch hole that fit that screw perfectly. I then went ahead and recessed the front so that I could put a large washer between the jaws and this mechanism to make it easy to turn. And then in order to secure that on this side, what I did was I did another recess. I used another washer on this side and a cotter pin to hold it in place. The recess is deep enough that the cotter pin is below the surface area. And so what that allows me is for a much more secure mechanism that runs smoothly, and I don't need to do any metal work. Metal work is something that I don't do unless I absolutely have to. But again, go out to John Weiss's site, watch a series of videos, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch over, and I'm going to show you the inside of the mechanism, and how I mounted it to the bottom of the Ron Polk workstation versus mounting it to the top of the workbench like John did. This is the inside mounting of the Woodworking Vise to the Ron Polk workstation. In order to mount it to the bottom, what I needed to do was to first build myself a box that the mechanism would sit on. Then I drilled 2 holes and mounted it to the table securely with 2 bolts. Then I built a guide that would attach to the box for my stabilizers. Simple design, worked out excellent. It's easy to take the outer jaw on and off, which you'll see in a minute. And so it made mounting it easy. The other advantage of this type of mounting is I just need to take out 4 bolts and then 2 on the bottom, move these anywhere I want on the workstation, 24 inches apart, mount them, drill the holes based using these as templates, and then drill 2 holes in the bottom once I get it all lined up, and I'm perfect. I'm good to go. This is a very simple thing to move, a very simple thing to mount once you have all this mounting built. Now let me explain to you a couple of the changes, and actually there's one major change that I made to the quick release mechanism. If you look at the one on the I Built It site, it has pins on the outside of the jaws. When you move your quick release, those pins pull the jaws apart, or they push the jaws together based on a couple of brackets that he put on the outside. I didn't want to have to deal with the brackets, so I thought for a minute, and what I finally ended up doing, let me go ahead and take this apart. Okay. Now here is the inside of the quick release mechanism, and what I figured out is that when it's in the closed position, the distance from here to here are the pins holding the jaws together. If I move it forward, now the distance from here to here pushes the jaws apart. It's a greater distance. And then what I did on the jaws in order to do that, rather than having the outside bracket, was I went to my mortiser, figured out where they had to be, and I just put myself 2 slots in the jaws themselves so that the metal pins that pull the jaws apart and push them together are in these slots a little bit tighter, and I think the thing works a little bit smoother than had I done it the way that John did it on his side. Although either method works great, it's all up to you when you build yours. These things go together real easy. And by the way, if you want details on building any of this stuff, you can get details on building this vise on the I Build It site on YouTube. Just do a search on I Build It, and you'll see a whole bunch of really neat designs that he's done. Now, if I push this forward, you can see that all we need to do is push it, everything lines up perfectly. Put my quick release back. Alright, and then I'm good to go. I can now go ahead and open and close my vise. It's just that simple. Really like the design. Can't say enough good things about it. It's going to give me a lot of really good use over the years. One other thing I want to go over before I quit the video is the vise has replaceable jaws, and you'll see how to build those when you look on the I Build It site. It's really explained in detail. What I did was I made myself a template out of cardboard before I drilled any holes in my jaws or in my replacements. And I made it the size of the replacements, and then I put my holes in, and then I used this to drill the holes in my jaws, and this to build and drill the holes in my replacement pieces. Works great. I can build these again very easily. This I keep inside the workbench so that I always have it handy in case I need to, and then that pretty much sums it up. I hope you found the video helpful. And I hope that some of the stuff that I did makes sense. If not, feel free to ask questions or leave comments. I'll get back to you. This was a fun project. I cannot say enough good things about John Weiss and his I Build It site. If you haven't been there, I strongly recommend you go there and subscribe. He really is a clever guy, and he's really done some great stuff. I hope, again, that you enjoyed everything. Have a good day. We'll see you.